what's up? It's Jared Hines, and in this video, I'm going to be going over what are the 4 keys to growing a giant, awesome, amazing, successful business. And the thing's going to literally start right now. And so, with that being said, if you haven't had a chance to go and check out the other videos I've done inside the series, I'm literally going to be spilling my mind out and giving you all the principles, all the things that I've gone and learned for free, by the way, that is going to lead you to that complete and utter stage of absolute fulfillment in all areas such as marriage, your relationship, your finance, your fitness, your business, and many, many, many other areas so that you can really live fulfilled and live according to the purpose that God has called you to live. So without further ado, let's go over what are these 4 keys to a awesome, amazing, giant, successful business. Oh yeah, and one more thing, be sure to stay on till the end of the video because once I go over the 4th key, it is going to blow your mind to smithereens, but keep it intact at the same exact time, if you know what I mean. So the first key is to know what you want to do, when you want to do it, why you want to do it, dude, so you don't get screwed. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean that many people, they try to focus on how they're going to do it. And because they focus on the how side of things, it puts them in the state of failure to launch syndrome. Has that ever happened to you? If that's ever happened to you, I'd like to drop it below in the comments if that has happened to you, because I think that it really happens to all of us at some point in time. And so the simple remedy to failure to launch syndrome is 1, what do you want to do? And so really take the time to break down and elaborate on a clear vision of where it is that you're gonna go. But the really cool thing about the what side of things is that it doesn't really need to be 20/20 vision. No, I'm sitting here without my glasses and by golly, I have no 20/20 vision, but I can see the general area of where I'm going, or aka what I'm speaking into right now. I know that if I just do it, then it doesn't need to be fully clear to get the picture, to get the message across. The next part that a lot of people fail at is that second part to the first key, which is when do you want to do it? Have you ever had a gun put to your head? I mean, probably not, but hypothetically speaking, if you had a gun put to your head and somebody says, okay, in the next 24 hours, you need to go and make $1 million, otherwise your family does not live. It doesn't matter if you have no expertise or no knowledge on how you're going to make $1 million in 24 hours, you are going to find a way to make that $1 million. But the biggest piece of that puzzle is having enough leverage there. And the leverage is backed by what? A time, a when moment, a when. So you have to know when are you going to do this? When are you going to just say, all right, you know what, I'm going to swallow my pride and I'm just going to take that step out and I'm going to make the dang thing happen. So set a date. If it's the first of the month, put it for the last day of the month, or 2 months or 6 months, depending on the largeness or the hugeness or how big your goal or vision is. And from there, the third spot to the very first key is why on earth are you doing it? Why? Because you're going to need to know that, but you need to know it last so that it can actually perpetuate and fuel the when backed by the what. So why on earth are you doing it? I'm going to challenge you to spend at least 30 minutes to an hour writing out all the reasons why, but none of the reasons that involve this thing called money. Many people don't see the money that they want to see in their business because they're actually focused on the money. In future videos, I'm going to be going over how you can overcome this, but I'm going to stay on topic and task with this video. So I guess with that being said, we're going to dive into the second key, which is read until your eyes bleed. Yay! What do you mean read till my eyes bleed? I ain't gonna be reading no more. I'm not trying to get paper cuts on my eyes, dude. Well, you might after you spend so much time inside of the proper learning material, inside of the proper learning books, according to whatever it is that you're doing. So if you're an expert in fitness, you better be reading every single fitness book that you can possibly read. If you want to get your money right, then you need to be putting in thousands of hours of reading time towards your money, towards your business. One of my favorite quotes is by, what's his name? Eric Thomas. Big E, right? And he's like, the only reason that you aren't where you want to be and you aren't good enough at what you are really proclaiming that you're good at is that you haven't failed enough. You haven't taken the time and you haven't put in the efforts in order to be able to claim the status of, I know what I'm talking about. And then he proceeds to say, I dare you to fail at a year of writing. I dare you to fail at a year of reading. I dare you to fail at what it is that you want for a full year and not quit and not give up. So back to this topic of read until your eyes bleed. I cannot say this enough. Now, don't make that excuse and say, oh, Jay, I just don't like to read. I don't like to do any of that. Okay, well, then you're not going to really like being successful in business. No, because what is it? The average CEO reads, 60 times more than the average person does? No wonder why they get paid 60 times the amount the average person gets paid. Mark Cuban, Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, all of them attest to that at least 4 hours a day they read, and that is why they are multi-billionaires. So what books can you read? In future videos, I'm going to be going over what my book list is, and so if you haven't had a chance to go hit the subscribe button and then ring the bell so that you get notified whenever it is that I go live, or if you're watching this on Facebook, hit the friend button and then it'll say follow and then see first. Hit the see first button so that you never have to miss a video. In this case, if the book list is something it is that you want, that is definitely going to be a how-to video. So with that being said, let's go on to the third key. The third key is a funny one, but it's often overlooked, and it's listen until their hearts glisten. Now I'm going to say that one more time just in case you missed me. Listen until their hearts glisten. Now what does this mean? This means that you have to get into a state of listening. I'm sure you've heard that that phrase before, that you have 2 ears and 1 mouth. Listen more than you speak. And if you didn't, well, you just heard it for the very first time. Now, how on earth do you properly listen? Well, you need to, in order to properly listen, you need to accurately speak. Well, how on earth do you accurately speak? You accurately speak by asking questions that provoke somebody to spill their emotion, aka spill their heart, so that you can listen and make their heart glisten. Now, very similar to the book list that I'm going to be sharing in upcoming videos, I'm also going to be sharing what questions do you ask people to make their hearts glisten. Wow, how powerful would that be in your network marketing business? How powerful would that be in your traditional business? How powerful would that be in your marriage? How powerful would that be in your finances? If you asked the proper question coming from your mouth in regards to your finances so that you can listen for the proper response, and that response might be the response that propels you to make more money. Wow. Wow. That's crazy, isn't it? Yeah. Anyway, so let's go ahead and let's get into the 4th key. And the 4th key is very overlooked. And in fact, it's so overlooked that many people don't ever get a chance to take full advantage of it. And the 4th key, without further ado, is, are you praying? Like, oh, for real. Are you praying? Well, what do you mean praying? Are you praying to Jesus, man? Like, if you read the Bible, like if you look at it over and over and over again, and for those of you who don't believe, I'm going to crush that just really fast. So give me here just a second. So in the Bible it says, asking is given to you, seeking you'll find, knocking the doors will be open. Well, that phrase really goes for both broke and rich people, does it not? Because a lot of broke people are people who go through a lot of hurt and a lot of pain. They're asking for that hurt and pain, maybe without even knowing. So then therefore they keep seeking it over and over and over again. And then they keep knocking on that same door and then wonder why. Hey, why does the debt collector keep showing up? Why does the bills keep showing up? Why does the abuse keep showing up? Why does the divorce keep showing up? Why is all this stuff showing up, man? Why aren't clients showing up? But then you get the flip side. And then the flip side is, okay, yeah, I'm asking for it because I have the faith the size of a mustard seed. I believe just with the slightest little edge, the slightest little ounce of me, that anything is possible to he who believeth. And for that person, they can move mountains. They can cast demons out. They can do the unspeakable, the unthinkable, the impossible. Now, you may have said, Jay, that's fine and all, but dude, I ain't about that spiritual mumbo jumbo. And that's fine. Let me debunk that for you really fast. So there are these things called the 12 immutable laws of what? The universe. Right? And the biggest one, and or the most popular one, is what is called the law of attraction. And the law of attraction, in layman's terms, says what you see in your mind, you hold in your hand. And it's part of this new age movement. And so many people are like, yes, I'm going to be the best version of me. I'm going to visualize. I'm going to write down my goals, and then I'm going to materialize. But then they wonder, man, stuff just isn't happening for me. Yeah, because they forgot about the other 11 immutable laws that go hand in hand with the law of attraction. Now, if you do some studying on the other 11 immutable laws, you'll come to find something super powerful and super crazy, is that if just one of them is broken, wait for it. If one of them is broken, all 12 are nullified. All 12 of them are done. You cannot invoke any of those laws. Well, if you look at the Quran, if you look at Buddhism, if you look at Hinduism, if you look at all of these other quote-unquote religions, they break the immutable laws. And the immutable laws, by the way, have been proven time and time and time again. Immutable means it cannot be proven against. It is solid, it is in foundation, and there is no going against it. Like, for instance, the law of gravity, right? What goes up must come down. In the same exact way, one of the 12 immutable laws is the law of correspondence. And law of correspondence says, as you see yourself on the inside, so your outside world's going to be. If you're damaged, beaten, battered down, bruised on the inside, don't you think your outside world's going to reflect that? Whenever you look at yourself inside the mirror, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I don't really like what I see inside of the mirror. If you don't like what you see in the inside of the mirror, how on earth are you supposed to maybe provoke the law of relativity or the law of attraction or the law of perpetual transmutation of energy or any of these laws? You can't. But what I've come to find is that there's one place where all 12 immutable laws are in complete unison, in complete harmony. In fact, there's been one person who's been able to invoke those anywhere that he ever went, and his name was Jesus. Whoa, super crazy, 2,386 supporting documents going back over 2,000 years with 96.9% accuracy over a 2,000-year time frame. There's been no document ever that has had that high of a statistical probability that it is accurate. There's been none. Zero, zilch, nada. Now, I'm not going to get into too much of the details, okay? But to finalize this up, I'm going to wrap it up with the law of correspondence one more time. And just in case you missed it just a little bit ago, I went over that as you see yourself on the inside, so your outside world's going to be. Yes, okay? Well, what does that boil down to? That boils down to self-image. What does self-image boil down to? Self-image boils down to self-discipline. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely it does. And from self-discipline, how do you gain self-discipline? Why would someone ever want to be self-disciplined? Well, so they could love their situation or maybe get a better result, right? I mean, because if you're not self-disciplined with your eating, you're not going to get the result it is that you want. If you're not self-disciplined with your training, you're not going to be the basketball player that you want. And should you actually do that, you would feel this sense of fulfillment, would you not? Fulfillment being an NBA star. after you've practiced and put in all the time and you've been self-disciplined from their fulfillment of losing 100 pounds so that you can feel and look your best, and so you don't have to have clogged coronary arteries, so you don't have to have heart disease or diabetes or whatever it might be. And so we have to look at, after we've been fulfilled, after we've been self-disciplined, what is the only thing that remains? The only thing that remains, or could ever remain, is, okay, do I love myself? Which you would have to kind of love yourself in order to be self-disciplined and to live a fulfilled lifestyle, right? Okay, well, where on earth do you find love? You don't find it in the outside world. No, you can't, because the law of correspondence will stop it. Because remember, as you see yourself on the inside, so your outside world's going to be. As above, so below. As within, so without. And remember, I said if one of the laws is nullified and it's gone against, then the other 12 don't work. All right, well, where can we find a place that has been proven time and time and time again to have all 12 immutable laws? Who was it? Where was it? When was it? Why was it? And the answer is the Bible. The Bible. That's where you're going to find it. And if you follow the promises in the Bible, and if you follow the instructions that are in the Bible, you'll feel the love. You'll feel the fulfillment. It says, for the Spirit of God contains self-discipline. And what would happen if you applied that into your business? What would happen if you actually asked God and said, dude, okay, I have no idea what the heck's going on, or more specifically, how anything's going to happen. He's going to expect it to answer, okay, well, what do you want to do? Well, I don't know what I'm going to do. Okay, well, I suggest you get self-disciplined so that you can discover that thing that's on the inside of you, so you can actually exert it out, so then you can actually ask God, because why would any parent give to their child anything that they do not know when it comes to what it is that they want? Well, I want a new pair of shoes, Dad. Okay, well, what kind? Okay, cool. Your wish is my command. And then so you're just going to get thrown some random pair of shoes from your parents. But if you say, hey, Ma, I want these pair of Jordans. Well, when do you need them by? Well, I got basketball practice that comes up next week, and I just really need it because all the other kids got it, and I just need to fit in with them. What, when, and why, right? The parent is going to provide the how. The parent's going to go do it. You as the kid, you have no business knowing how the heck, even if you think that your parents can't afford. Like many people think that God ain't real, right? In the same exact comparison, many kids think that their parents can't afford. Many human beings think that God ain't real. It's the same comparison. And because they think that their parents can't afford, they never go and ask. Because they think that God's not real, they never ask. But what happens when you ask your parent? Because your parent loves you so much, right? Well, at least they're supposed to. But because we live here in a corrupt planet, in a corrupt world, some parents are not. And I don't know your story, and maybe you had a rough childhood, I have no idea. I can only speak from my past experience, as my mother was a single mother, and she would do anything to go and make sure that her babies were taken care of. Now, of course, that's very, very, very subjective. There is a God who is our Father, and He wants to give us anything that we ask for, but we have to actually believe in the same exact way we believe that our parents maybe did or didn't have that money, but we asked anyways, and somehow, boom, it showed up. Somehow, some way. You had no idea, but you knew your what, your when, and your why, and you let the parent worry about the how, but you got to believe. And so these are my 4 keys to a successful business, but they can really be applied to any area of your life. So anyways, hopefully you found this helpful, useful, insightful. Sometimes I tend to rant. Why? Because, well, it's going on inside of my head, and that is what this entire series is about. So once again, if you did find this helpful, useful, insightful, go and hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, share this, maybe tag some friends in it, and then comment below, maybe what area are you trying to improve, or what area is the most important for you to improve right now. And hopefully with these next upcoming videos in the series, we'll be answering all those questions. And also with any suggestions it is that you have, please put those in the comment section. And if I know it, you better believe the video is going to show it. God bless you. God keep you. We'll see you on the next video.